So, I mentioned previously that I wanted to do videos that were more introspective during this final week. And I feel like today I want to give like what I would tell my younger self. I'm gonna sort of put it into like categories of like around the age I was. But yeah. To 14, 15-year-old me, honestly, don't worry about your options at secondary school. It doesn't matter. Realistically, you'd pass it kind of all. And you're like a lot better than you think you are. Which is surprising. I know that would be to you back then. To me, at 16, this is going to be a lot. Don't let bullies make you go back in the closet. Although being out is terrifying, it can also be really powerful. And I don't know if I realised it at the time, but I think continuing to be openly queer probably would have opened up a lot more doors than I thought. So just stick with things. Be you, despite the people around you being idiots. At the end of the day, people who are bullies will be bullies. That's just kind of... I don't want to say it's like a fact of life, but it happens. Although, you know, me as a queer person, homophobia feels like nothing to me nowadays. I've gotten so much stronger. You know, I've grown a thicker skin, and I think it's best if you just be you and stop letting other people dictate who or what you sort of consider divulging about yourself. Also, a second thing to 16-year-old me, because it was GCSE time, actually revise for things. This sounds insane in hindsight, but I actually didn't really revise for my GCSEs, which is a massively embarrassing admission, but I still did decently well, obviously. I passed, at the very least, which for me was always kind of my goalpost. I didn't fail anything, so that was a good thing to me back then. But I kind of wish I stuck things in a bit more. Because, hey, although, you know, grades don't really matter, I think if I got higher and actually, like, really tried, I could probably be accomplishing more things. That, and I feel like I would have developed a better work ethic than what I have now, which is incredibly apparent when you're trying to do a video every day. So also, yeah, to sort of 16, 17-year-old me, say yes to that person literally asking if you are gay. Say yes. I feel like this is something that nowadays I look back on and I just regret going back in the closet so much. Again, I know I struggled, but I should have stuck with, and I don't think, although back then I thought it was what was going to keep me safe, I was around different people, you know, I thought it was gonna, sort of hiding myself was gonna keep me safe. And in that point, you know, going to sixth form, after being bullied, I should have just, kept being open. Because at the end of the day, I feel like the more doors you allow open, the more people will come in and be like, I relate to that. I understand you. I want you, baby. Oh god, that is an insane thing to say. Obviously, a lot of these things are towards my teenage self, and sort of young adult self. So, to 18-year-old me, this is when things get a little bit more serious. Don't go and do that degree in cybersecurity. That was probably your biggest mistake. So for those of you who don't know, before doing an esports degree, I did a cybersecurity degree at the same university, or at least attempted. And well, it was September 2020. My parents sort of gave me the decision of, are you going to take a gap year or go straight to uni? And I said go straight to uni. Really, really dumb. And the reason I said that was the way that my dad is that he's very much, you have to be doing something. You can't just do nothing. That's his thinking, like 24/7. He does not turn off. And he's the kind of person who wants other people to be like that, even if it's not the best idea. I mean, right now he's still like that. Take a gap year from uni, especially during COVID, because the issue was that I went to my university city, Sheffield. I went in halls first year, and we immediately went straight into lockdown again. I went to my uni buildings once throughout the whole year. And being locked down and with people you don't really trust or know that well was a recipe for disaster. I mean, I was already struggling being away from family, but with new people, it was a lot to take in. And being locked down, I couldn't really escape them. They were my only company. And I struggled. Both with the cybersecurity degree and just in general life. I try not to talk about this too much. But the ending towards 2020 was I'm lucky I'm still here, essentially. I'm lucky that I managed to get out the way that I did. Because if I didn't come home for Christmas to my family, I wouldn't be alive. It feels disingenuous and really crappy to talk about it like this, but yeah, I struggled, and I'm trying my best not to cry on camera, because it was a really, really terrible time, and I am actually also considering whether this is actually worth saying now. But anyway, on that downer, let's move on to the next thing. Me aged 1920. So first year of esports degree. Yeah, you should go and live in the uni city rather than relying on trains. deadass, the amount of times I got stranded in Sheffield because the one train company that runs trains to my parents' house is about as consistent as my... Wow, my burp censored me. About as consistent as my shit. Yeah, maybe just live in your uni city, and don't rely on public transport so much, because you will be stranded for hours on end. This isn't this like. There was one night where I had literally been stuck there for like 4 hours. That was how, yeah. And I didn't really have anywhere to go. It was getting pretty late. And it could have been just the fact that it was 2021 and, you know, things weren't quite running smoothly in 2021 because of strikes and all that. But the amount of times that trains got cancelled were an absolute joke. You'd think that they'd sort their shit out, but that train company never did, and so they got taken over by the government. And also, advice I'd give to 19, 20-year-old me is talk to your classmates, talk to your course mates more. I ended up basically not talking to many people on my course, even though it was like, what, less than 20 people. I feel only connected to like a few of them, and that's only because I had to work with them for different bits of coursework. And then advice I'd give to me, sort of past me in the past year, maybe just shut your mouth a bit. Because there have been times when I have inadvertently said something, and that has had like a really bad knock-on effect on someone else in their life. And I mean, I'm not gonna beat around the bush. Fucking terrible thing to do. I've done terrible things inadvertently, and it's just not good. I think part of things is that because I have so little friends, like in real life, that I consider close, that when I'm online, I end up oversharing, like what I've been kind of doing this video. But that oversharing could potentially affect either myself or others. So I really just need to be more mindful of that. Obviously, I'm not going to strictly talk about what happened there. But yeah, just shut your gob a bit, because there's no reason for it. There's no reason to bring other people down whether it was on purpose or by accident. And yeah, I think that is what I feel like saying in this video. This has been like a lot. This has been a lot to say. But thank you very much for watching. I've been Orion, signing out.